Yeah, Noah, I told you never to call me at this number again. Thank you. Mike Roman here for Techno Buffalo. Today I'm reviewing the Samsung Exhibit 4G, T-Mobile's cheapest 4G phone. It's 80 bucks after a $50 mail-in rebate with a 2-year T-Mobile contract, voice and data. Join me, the exhibitionist that I am, on my exhibit of the Samsung Exhibit 4G. Ladies and gentlemen, step right up. This is the Samsung Exhibit 4G at close range. I sniped it out of the wild. Let me give you some specs here. This runs on T-Mobile's 4G HSPA Plus network. It runs Android 2.3 Gingerbread, so that is the latest version of Android available on a smartphone. We have Swipe for messaging. Swipe. Woo! And we also have flash support, full flash support in the browser. And that is a wonderful thing. Let's open right up to Techno Buffalo here. And you can see how quick this phone is. That's a 1 gigahertz Hummingbird processor they stuffed into this bad boy. Let's go ahead and open up. Let me see if we can find a post with... Look, it's so quick that I made a mistake and it just threw me right over to it. Okay, here is a stop motion tutorial. Cool. And obviously, there we go. Come on, give it to me, that funky stuff. Give me that stuff, that funky stuff. There we go. Playing right away. Cool. Okay, so now that we've had our fun little dancecapade, let's talk about this screen. This is a very nice screen for a phone of this size and this price range. It is a 3.7 inch TFT AMOLED touch screen. It's a 480 by 800 resolution screen. It's actually very nice, surprisingly, for a phone of this size, of this price range. I was very impressed with it. It's nice and bright, just like Samsung screens tend to be. Colors were a little bit on the bluish side, but definitely bright. It was great for reading text, especially John R's tweet posts here, which I read every day, and they're just so magical. They make my day scrumdiddlyumptious. Okay, so let's also talk about memory. This phone has an 8 gigabyte micro SD card, and I really like the port layout on this phone. You really don't have to snap the back hatch off to get to any of the, to get to the memory card. It's right here for you. We get an 8 gigabyte card out of the box. They gave me a 4 gigabyte card. I don't know why, because they hate me. And but it'll come with an 8 gigabyte card and 1 gigabyte of internal storage, onboard storage. So it will have 9 gigabytes of storage right out of the box. We also get an enclosure here for the micro USB port here, and there's a 3.5 millimeter audio jack. Based on the size of this phone, it's very similar to an iPhone. The only thing is the Exhibit 4G is a 1/2 inch thick. So let me show you some thickness action here. It's a little bit thicker, but the rest of the architecture is very similar in dimensions to the iPhone 4. And I really like the design of this phone as well. I love this tapered bottom here. I like this Darth Vader mask type grill here. And I like this sloped bottom patch here. It's just aesthetically, it's a unique phone. It's unconventional. And I like that in a sea of monotonous and bland Android phones. Actually, I like to call them blandroid phones. You'll notice that the screen keeps timing out. That's part of the power save feature here. But this battery, it's a 1500 milliamp hour battery. this battery was a great performer, and Samsung claims talk time of 9 hours and a standby time of I think it's over a week, something like that. It's a long ass time for standby, but it stood by a very long time. I did not even have to charge this phone at all. Calling and spending a day taking pictures and playing around with it, it still had half a battery life left. So that's one thing that you're not going to have a problem with this on this phone is battery life. Let's see what else we have in store here. Let me just give you a few other specs before I jump into some of the fun features on this phone. It has Wi-Fi, 802.11b, G, and N, A GPS. It has an accelerometer, so it's awesome for 3D games. And we have a light sensor, Bluetooth 2.1 with EDR stereo, and that should do it for the core specs. One more thing, a front-facing VGA camera here, and that's for video chat. And something that, if you are into your applications and games, this phone comes with Bejeweled 2, Scrabble, and Doodle Jump. So if you are a wordsmith, or you love jewel puzzles, or if you like a little creature with a funnel snout jumping to oblivion. By the way, is there an end to Doodle Jump? It just seems like he goes forever and nothing ever happens until you die. It seems like the only way to beat the game is to just die when you get to a crucial point high in the air, when you think you're almost going to beat it, and then you just fall off one of the platforms. You just get shot out of the sky by one of the doodle monsters. But I digress. So let's take a look at Android 3.1. I mean, I'm insane. Wow, Android 2.3. Android 2.3. Here's our drop-down menu. Okay, so it's nice. We have our little power center here, and let's go check out. Oh, we're getting a phone call here. No thanks. And we're gonna scroll over. We have 7 home screens maximum here. And we also have a Leap type, HTC Leap type thing here, but is Samsung. And it's Samsung's side-scrolling application menu here. And you could do a lot of things on this phone that you can do with the higher-end phones. Maps work beautifully. I'll show you maps here. Okay, let's apparently turn on Wi-Fi. Okay. Maps, as I was saying. There we go. And you see, we don't have that. We don't have the rotational option. We can only zoom in and out. That's okay. And that's an example of, one of the things that this phone is missing when you compare it to one of the 4G giants out there on the market. But overall, quick little phone. It's not like a dual core quick, but it is fast. It gets the job done for 80 bucks. I really don't know how you can complain with this phone. It's solid, it's portable, it's quick, it's capable. Android 2.3, it's got swipe. So I pretty much covered the bases here, but I'm going to go out in the woods and act like a strange person and give you my conclusion with the Samsung Exhibit 4G for T-Mobile. Yeah, Noah, and the next step is a restraining order. So, yeah, put that in your pipe and give it a puff. So, my final conclusion with the Samsung Exhibit 4G for T-Mobile is it's actually a pretty good one. The diagnosis is good. I think the future of smartphones, the 4G smartphones, are going to get cheaper. Obviously, naturally, and this is the first example of that. The Exhibit 4G exhibited a very decent all-around performance. It had a great battery life. It made calls fine, and it basically did a lot of the things that the Super 4G phones were capable of doing. But it was just smaller, and it was more iPhone-like. So it is definitely a sign that the times are changing. And if you live in a 4G area and if you're on a budget, then the T-Mobile Exhibit 4G, made by Samsung, is one of the best options out there for you. I recommend checking it out. Until next time, this has been the Samsung Exhibit 4G review. For Techno Buffalo, I am Mike Perlman, and I'm going to see you guys later.